Okay, so it's early in the morning and I'm here and everything. Everything has been going fine. I mean, it definitely, I can feel like this. I don't know what to say except for like it's like pockets of vibration or something. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's very strange. Anyways, we were talking and stuff yesterday. There was like definitely some weird things, but I just was like, we're just stop talking. I know where this is going. I just didn't. Of course, rapture's been brought up, of course, already. I'm sorry if I'm talking too low. It's really this big air conditioner thing is like right above my head, and then plus I'm at somebody else's house. I don't want to be just like, bah. Um, and it's early, and Stella's already made enough of a ruckus. She's improved so much though with the cats. Some of them, have actually let her go up and sniff them, but she still wants to do that alpha dog thing to the cats. It's like, cats don't play that, homie. Fucking, you get your eyeballs scratched out. Fuck off with this shit. It stresses me out. But she has no idea. Like, she's always like freaked out by cats. Like that there's some sort of like if like, yeah, when we're outside and those kids are out playing and their cat's coming up to them, still hysterical. Watch out, it's gonna get you. But now she's gone up and sniffed them and stuff. So she sees like, she's watched them. She's watched them interact. She's watched them. They just are always like wanting to be pet or wanting to eat or something. But still, if some of them let her get very close, she tries to do this chest bump on them. Girl. Oh, girl. So there was like a few things though, because the drive was so fucking weird. It was so fucking weird. And I'm thinking it maybe is something where I could see patterns or something. I keep trying to think like, like I try and put things together. Okay, like they call us attention deficit. They call us, mentally ill. They call us, I don't know, rejects. They call us every fucking thing. And but the thing about autism or spectrum or something, I think it's something about seeing patterns. I think that's just something like that we do, but they shut it down in us because it's they can't control us. They can't control me like they can control other people. And so I had seen this guy talking this morning. I saw a couple of TikToks, and this guy was talking about that he went out to go grounding and talk to trees and stuff because everybody says so good for you. And he was talking about he's left-handed, everything is left-handed, so he uses his right side of his brain so he can pick up on all of that stuff, and he can hear communication with trees and they're talking to him and stuff like that. And that goes back to what I was saying in school, because like the video right before that was this girl, and she was reading, I think, one of the Rockefeller mission statements or something. It could have been Agenda 2030, I don't know. It's one of those long papers where they describe exactly how to take us down and control us, and it has all to do with making us feel bad about ourselves, keep us divided from one another, the whole thing, the whole fucking thing, the whole thing. I mean, it's like laid out exactly like what I've been saying that they are doing to people. They lay it out and say, this is what we're going to do. It's like, it's exactly what they did. And so this creation of this insecurity, like to cut you off from yourself so you have no discernment, you don't trust yourself. And they start doing it by the age of 5, as soon as they can get you into school. But I think that they got it so much of like now how they've been doing it to adults and then their kids and stuff. But it says too about everything, about keeping us chasing money that we can't ever get, keep us feeling bad about ourselves, keep us dependent on medication, keep us just right there so we never get further. It's about keeping long-term sickness, long-term insecurity, all of it. Oh yeah, make them think that they're animals that have no purpose and that they're the smartest ones. This is as far as they've evolved so far. And but that's what our hidden history is showing us. that it was way more evolved. Like the people before us were way further ahead of us. Like, what are you talking about? They're stupider than us. Like, then how do they make all these buildings that are so far advanced that we still can't do? How are they carving in marble stuff that we can't do? It's like, so it's, but that's part of the hand of God, coming in to show us. But I had seen also this video, I think last week or something, and it had been going around. People were also sharing it. And this guy, I don't think it was Needles. In Needles, California. It was another place so like Needles. It could have been, but it was a small, like, deserty town in California. And he was passing through it or something. And he said, go to this town. This is weird. Must be like some sort of fake town that they put out or something. Because he said everywhere he went, like, the people had the same names. People didn't know what to do. Like, he would go up and he would ask him, oh, where do we do that? And he'd be like, well, I don't know. I just started. Everybody, every place he went, well, I don't know. I just started. Well, I don't know. And he said that they would have, like, similar names. Nobody could answer questions. He said it was just the weirdest thing. And he went on to, explain, to a point where all these people are sharing it, saying, like, these weird, like, to me, it's like these portal things, like I've been talking about, like, all this time and space where we're thinking, oh, we got to get out in outer space. No, it's all around us. It's all of this vibration and realities that are all around us. And and another thing too is, like, while I was driving, and I'm like driving and noticing all this open, and the farms and all that. And I was, and I know I've talked about this before, but it's always like they put more and more together where it's like, oh, fuck. Because it was like, all these people out trying to, just live their lives or whatnot. And so the people in charge, it's like, well, I don't want to work. Well, I don't want to work. Well, let's get them all to work for us. So we just, get them to do the work, and then we'll do the benefit. And so it was like, there's like this part, because it seems like to me, like if you think about this, habitat, having, all the sheep, the conveyor belt of beings that just do what they're told. And then the ones, the idols, the celebrities or whatever, the sheepdogs that, are trying to keep them in line. But then you have the sheep herders. That's like the corporate entities that have, come in to control us. And then you have the people who are fully in charge. And it seems like to me that there's like these advanced alien beings that they've been in contact for a long while, like I bet you that they've gotten way more. I bet you there is board meetings. Corey Good talked about some of that shit. Like, he would go to these meetings and he was expected to sit there and translate what these other beings were saying. That's the whole thing about doing the testing, and then take the ones that have the abilities. And like, if I would have done the test, I would have been taken. I feel certain of it. But I never showed. I always sat back in the corner and just let him call me weirdo and strange person. And I still get it all the time. I still, when I'm even talking to my mom and I'm saying things, people are always just like, why do you notice that stuff? Why do you care? Like I'm worrying about things that I shouldn't worry about. So then I'm making it, and it's like, I just have a huge awareness of things, and I see patterns. I see things. I don't know. I can't help what I see. And, but so the beings, like the Anunnaki, but I don't know, maybe the Anunnaki haven't given them much time, and they know the Anunnaki is heading in. Maybe they think, I don't know. Because it seems like they definitely, talk to the Dracos, the Greys, and the reptilians. And they've, like, allowed them to, like, infiltrate into our society. And so, some of the politicians could be them, like, what is that called? When the people, they can make it look like you look like different to us. They can make us think we see a different form, but it's really, alien there. And so, or a reptilian, whatever, everything. I mean, this whole alien concept is so silly. I mean, we're under an alien invasion right now with all these people crossing the border because we're all alien to one another and alien to one another's cultures and stuff. And that's the way they want to keep it. They say it in their things. They want to break people down. But so their purpose was kind of like, as using science. We've always found these great minds to use, but it was about controlling and containing. And so it was to draw us in with this lure of jobs, of a better life and stuff. But really, it was to get us to follow the rules. Like, it was really hitting me. So, like, I was driving, and they have these ridiculous fucking speed trap things on the freeway that are just absurd. And then a cop sitting there trying to catch us. And I was like, oh my God. All they fucking did was like, well, they want to make laws so that they can control and contain like us, our energy. And so make these laws where we get in trouble if we do this or we do that. Oh, you drive too fast. Like, you don't know how fast you need to go. We allow this. We don't allow that. All these motherfucking rules. Because even yesterday, my mom, oh my God, she's so dramatic. All the, what? Can you just sit here for a minute, okay? Stella, stop it. Oh, here comes the tiny little dog to come. Because the tiny dog's got to hang out with us all the time. Oh my God, Stella, you're so dramatic. And so it's like they could come up with lots of rules and laws. I mean, they're right now fucking whole goddamn synopsis on how to control us and how to tear us down and break us. Oh my gosh, the little tiny one keeps getting closer and closer to her. So she's just like, the dog could fit in Stella's mouth. It's so funny. Oh, and it's 5 pounds. I asked my mom. So anyways, and Belle gets really depressed if I leave. I guess she gets very upset. It's so funny. I don't even know why this little tiny dog likes me. It's got to be just an energy thing, a frequency thing or something. So, she's not comfortable. I'm so uncomfortable too, like sleeping on couches and all this shit. And then, so we're gonna zippity-doo-dah back to. We're gonna do all this stuff for the next couple days. I'm gonna zip back, drop off my granddaughter, zip home, pack up a bunch of camping stuff, and then zip back over to go camping for the weekend. It's like, oh my God, when I was looking at my calendar in July, I was like, ugh. When I say I want to get out there and do some stuff, I'm not shit. I've barely been home all month. And I'm only going to be home for a couple of days just to get my stuff together, wash stuff, and get it together and head back out. So it's busy. But but it seems like it's the energy too. Like right before that happened, I was definitely getting the message, when you get invited to things, when you're going, like, go. We want, go, get out there. We want you out there. And so I was like, okay. And everywhere I go, I keep having, like, people come up and talk to me. They come up and talk to me and Stella, like, and I don't know, maybe it's just like this energy thing, like they want this other energy to be out, because, like, when I'm just at home, I don't know. Honestly, I fucking don't know. I can just guess all day long. But with so many things that I've, translated of my stuff has been so true and accurate and stuff. So, so this whole thing about, let's create laws and stuff so we can find them and tax them and, get them to think that's the only way to live. And then they, get the big drawing people into the cities when it's all just a trap. It's all just like, yeah, come in here, we'll give you a job. But then you got rules and laws, because they couldn't do it when we're all just living out. How could they contain and control? How could they make us abide by their laws? They had no control when we're out free. Even if we have small communities, they have no control. The whole thing is to pull us in. The whole thing with the concrete jungle, cutting down the trees, taking away nature, containing us in this little area, then telling us that that's all we deserve, and all of the whole thing, all just to get money from us, and it is so strange. But anyways, so while I was driving, I was like, I could see these patterns so good. I could just, it's like I could know what somebody in their car is feeling or something too. Like I can feel their energy. I can feel them. I don't have to see them in the mirror. I can feel them coming up behind me. I can feel their intention. I can feel their, it's weird. And so, like their attitude or something. And so while I was driving, you know, and this is like right away, it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm not playing these fucking games with y'all today. And, but I did notice that there was a lot more people that were doing the same thing. That were just like, fuck this is some bullshit. Like, I don't know why. I mean, they could have just been completely zoned out and have no idea what the hell they're doing. But you could definitely see things happening if you're paying attention. Like, I don't know, I pay attention to weird shit apparently that nobody else thinks is necessary. But to me, it's like, whoa, I've got to pay attention to shit. We can recognize we need change. We got to start seeing what's broken. Like, start noticing shit. In the driving, you know, the rules that they created for us to control and contain us are all upside down. They don't make sense. The rules of the road, it's the same thing. When you use your independent thought and you pay attention and stuff, then you see that this thing that they tell us to do is ridiculous. And so while you're driving, you know, it's one thing to like keep in mind of all the different driving situations we have. We have the interstates, we have it when we're in the cities, we have it when you go out and they become 2-lane, you have state highways that are 1 lane, you have all sorts of things. So, and before, you know, when they used to make these rules about the road, it was like there was one rule road, one lane road, and a tractor could be on there. It was like, okay, you gotta pull over and let the cars go by. Because remember, we haven't even had cars that long, right? So they come up with these fucking rules, like it's just so absurd. And so you know, it makes sense if you're going slow when you've got a shit ton of cars backed up behind you, then, you know, there's 1 lane, nobody can do anything else. They're all kind of trapped behind you unless everybody wants to try and pass a giant caravan to get ahead. You know, to pass when cars are stacked up like that just gets more and more dangerous. Sometimes you're having to pass 2 or 3 at a time. So, you know, it makes sense for the person in front to pull over. You have passing lanes a lot of time, but the not having a ton of passing lanes, you know, that's done on purpose to keep us, you know, frustrated and mad at each other. There's a whole thing. They want to keep us mad at each other. It's all in their written statement thing. Look it up. I'm not sure which one she was reading, but I've heard so many different people read them. And so then let me think. So the person who, oh my gosh, I totally lost track of my thing. It started a whole other conversation going over here. It's like, shut up. Okay, so the driving, so the two, when you have the 2 lanes and you have this one over here is 60 miles an hour and this one's 70. And so when you're in this one, and then plus even the cops will tell you you're allowed to go 3 to 5 miles over. So everybody goes like 75, 76. Some people go 73, 74. But everybody in this lane is going 70 or over. And everybody in this lane is, you know, trucks, you know, they can go as fast as they can go. And you're going through mountains and stuff. A lot of times they're going super slow. And so this lane's going, I don't know, sometimes it's going 40. And sometimes it's going 65. Sometimes it's going 70 for brief moments in between trucks because those cars are zipping through. But the thing where it gets so ridiculous is, so like the people who are going 70, so we're going here, and you can see like the parts where you can see where there's a whole bunch. You just see cars evenly spaced, just taking their drive, relax, just, put it on cruise control, just cruising along. You got this lane that's going its pace, you got this lane that's going its pace. And so when you're back here as an observer and you're looking forward, you see, you got this one moving this way, and you got this one moving this way. And so everybody's just kind of, just moving. Nobody's doing anything. Everybody's paced back. But then you have these beings, these people, like, I don't know, they seem so robotic. They seem to not think for themselves. It's strange as shit, man. So I'm trying to say some of the different weird things, because like you're driving. Okay, so an independent thinker, a person who is empowered, not a victim, is a very mentality driven SJW kind of scenarios playing out all over the place. Stella, please let me do this. And she just does this talk. It's like, come on, Chuck. Stella, stop it. We'll go in there in a minute. She just got to be in there looking at the cats. Oh my Lord. She's so dramatic. So then you're driving, and then you have these ones, and they'll come up like, they'll come zooming up, go right up to your bumper. It's like, so, okay, you already have lost the evenly spaced. Okay, so is there something wrong with you? Do you not understand space? Do you need to be touching me? Have you lost your mind? Are you trying to move me out of your way? Like, what's going on here? And so, when some of them come up so aggressively, like I said, you can feel them. And some come so fast, you don't, it is mental. And one that was going so fast, and it was right when we were getting close to town where there's more and more traffic. And they'll just come zooming up like they're just... And that's irritating too, just because it's so dangerous. Because it's so dangerous, like, but, you do you, but I'm not going to play your games. So, anyways, so you have these ones, and some of them are even kind of like, they're moving together. Like, you have 2 or 3 of these cars, and they're going together in this frenzy. They're zooming up, and they zoom up, and they get right up here. And so I went through a couple of different things. Like, there was a time where I was like driving, and it was like a space, and I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm just getting out of the way. I can't deal with these people's, because like I said, I could like feel them, and it was like I can't even stand it. So it's like, I need to get out of their energy, I need to get away from them. So I just zoom over here, and so then it's the strangest thing, because then they'll either just ride right next to you and they don't pass you. Like, they have to zippy-doo-dah-day right up on there, make sure you understand that this is a passing lane. But then they're not gonna, they're not gonna pass and get over. They're just gonna sit there and ride right along next to you. Or the other is, so then you move over, so then they go past you, get in front of you, and then just go back to going slow. So you have to go off your cruise control. So, okay, you gotta rush up here, get me to move, get in front of me, and then starts this leapfrog bullshit. Okay, it's because this lane's going 60. So you got all these cars, leapfrog over here, leapfrog over there, and they're all just this, it's utter chaos. And then you have the ones, they want you to move, they want you to get over. And luckily for me, there was like a couple of cars that they, after playing these games, and it was like, okay, they just want to be close to me, apparently. And so I just stayed in my thing, and I just quit paying attention. And they start having people that was getting behind them and getting mad at them. So then you have them leapfrogging around us and getting really irritated and flying up and going over here and then flying over. But the weird thing is these people that do that they're going over here, going over there, going over here, going over there. It's like, do you not see an accident just waiting to happen and you're chaos? And we're way out in the middle of nowhere. Like, where do you think this big old 5-10 minutes is going to make a difference? Because all these people doing this, bet your ass you're going to be right up there with them again in a few minutes. Like, it is ridiculous. It's like, why can't you just be driving and see, okay, we got a pace going. Everybody's just, and then find your pace, get your length back, set your thing. It's like, it's so simple. And then just kick back, listen to your music, and just go with the flow. But no, you've got this disruption. It's like having, speedboats next to people kayaking or something. The people are just chilling, just out enjoying their drive. And you got these chaotic people who's like, driving, God, I can't take it. I gotta go. I gotta go fast. I gotta get past everybody. It's too much. It's too hard. It's like, what in the holy hell is wrong with your? I start seeing as like, are these people just on like robot mode? What is wrong with these people? It's so strange because it was so crystal clear. There was like two completely different worlds happening on this freeway. And it was just kept being more confirmation of this two worlds are becoming so clear of two different energies. And it was like so strange. And then Stella was doing her whiny bit or whatever, she's just dramatic. She's just dramatic. And I'm not saying that she's just a little queen. She's been treated like, just a queen. And so every little pebble is a problem for her, I think. She still lifts up her head, listen, does a little whine. But, so I tell her, okay, we'll pull over. I'll get you some cheeseburgers again. And then I didn't go to, I think they're all, all comes from meat distribution plants. So, who knows what the fuck. It's all gross shit. McDonald's probably even, kind of like a Coke dealer who's low budget who, gets it. And then they're like, well, let's just add a bunch of baby diarrhea formula and whatever the hell and cut it up so that they have less, more filler and less product. I think McDonald's is kind of like that. Like, let's just add a lot more filler. But, so we went to Zips, and, everybody doesn't have Zips. It's a smaller, but it has, become a corporation, but it's, individually owned little restaurants and stuff too, but they all serve the same thing. But anyways, they're hamburgers, but I think I got a 2 double cheeseburger, but it was up like by the kids' burgers, the hamburger. Yeah, I think it was double cheeseburgers. They're like $5.50. It's like, this is the shit. It used to be like $1.79. So, I got her those, and this was the weird thing, because I got some fish and chips for me. And so, we go pulling up to the window with the Zips, and I do my order at the thing. And then they go the first window. So I go the first window to pay. And the girl at the window, she's like, she came out of her trance or something, I think. But it is weird because people are like on a script or something. Just start paying attention. Like, it's very strange. And so, but it was like something snapped her out of it because she saw something she loved, because she has English Mastiffs. So she wanted to talk about Stella. And so she was, conversing, having a conversation and being a normal person. And then the window just closed, and so I just pulled forward, she did get her next order or something, but there was no one ever came behind me. Yeah, that was weird. I didn't even think of that before. That was weird. Because she got the microphone, like she's talking to me, then she gets the microphone, sorry for your wait. And then window closes, so I just pull up to the next one, but nobody came behind me. That's so weird. So or it's just my thing off with time, because I'm very off with time. And so then I pulled up to the next one, and the girl, let's see, the next window was where you pick up your food, so there was nobody. Nobody came to the window, nothing was happening. And there was nobody behind me, there was nobody in front of me, and I was thinking, well, I should just go use the bathroom while they're cooking this, but I should pull up a little bit right here because they'll probably bring it out to my car anyways. Like I'm thinking like it's the olden days when people still were thinking for themselves. And so, there was a giant truck next to me, so you could get in any spaces. It was just like the drive-through, and then it was almost like go right out. There was like this little space, so I just pull up right there and go in the door, go in the bathroom, which is that was a weird situation. The bathroom that I had never experienced. It was so strange because I go walking in it, and so I'm walking by this other girl who's walking in, and she's tall, which I'm hardly ever, am I ever out. I'm always usually the tallest girl when I'm out in places. Like it's rare when I have a girl walk up who's taller than me. So I always notice. It's gotten more common as I've gotten older because I'm like shrinking some and people are getting bigger. But it is, it's still, it's something I notice. So she comes up and she's taller than me, but she was very robotic matrix, like it was strange. Like if I had to perform it last night for my mom, if I could do the performance, it was so strange because we go walking into this bathroom and she walks up. It was so matrix, like the lady with the black hair and the sunglasses. She's definitely like a sunglass person. But I'm a sunglass person now. Like, fuck that. I'm a sunglass person. I know I'm in a game. I may not be a robotic weirdo, but so the way she walks into the bathroom was so strange. It's so narrow. There's like 3 stalls in this little narrow hall. We're walking the door. Here's the hand dryer thing. The sink's right here. This woman's got her 2 kids. The robot woman, she walks up and she just turns and she just stands there the whole fucking time. It was so fucking strange. And so I'm coming in and this woman with her 2 kids comes out in this like chaotic way. And then it's like, and this is such a small space we're all working in right here. And so her kids are, I'm sure the little boy can't get his eyes off of me. Every time anybody sees me, it's like, Mom, what is that? Why has she got so much stuff on you? What is this creature we see before us? And so, that's distracting enough for him to try and get his hands washed and whatnot. And the mom is, hurry, son, she might touch you. She probably is doing drugs or something. She might be a prostitute. Get out of there, son. And so, it was just weird. She's holding her child. The whole thing was weird. And then plus this tall woman. So then they move out. I go take my place next to the robot woman. And then this person in the stalls. So now I can see the stalls because I'm thinking, did she even look? Like this robot just walks in and turns and just stands there. So I'm like, did she? So I finally get where I can see the stalls, and so I can see, okay, well, I see feet in the first one, but they're turned the wrong fucking way. What the fuck is going on? They're not turned like they're leaning over the toilet. No, they're turned like they're just looking into the other stall. And I'm like, what in the holy hell? And so I'm just watching this person's feet for a long while. I'm just like, this is so strange. And then she comes out, and she's an old woman, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe she had problems getting her Depends and her pants and all that business. So maybe she's just standing there just messing around. Okay, that makes sense. Then this robot lady walks straight in there. So I move over, and I hear her scurrying in these other 2. And so I know people are in there. And so then action starts happening. Doors start opening. The woman walks out. She's fucking giant. Like, I was like, what the fuck? She was so tall. And I was like, okay, so two tall people in the bath, like taller than me in this bathroom right here, right now. And, which I was already having a weird experience with my granddaughter walking past me being taller than me. It's like, is that part of the whole thing? As we age, we shrink, our energy becomes smaller, and the next one is like this, I don't know how to explain it, but I can see it so good. He's so, I don't know, but it's just weird. So then the big old tall woman walks out and walks towards the sink. So I walk into hers. So I'm walking towards hers. The other woman comes out, and she's a giant too. And she comes walking out. And I'm like, okay, this is fucking weird. Okay, I don't know what the fuck. And then, of course, my logical side is like, okay, It's probably a volleyball team. This is the mom of one of the volleyball girls. This is probably one of the volleyball girls. And so it's probably, or basketball team. And so it's probably, I'm just in the bathroom, the same, like it's in Ritzville. You know, lots of people who go out to play teams and all this stuff. Ritzville is the next town where everybody stops to get gas and food and shit. So I was like, okay, surely it's got to be a team thing. It's got to be some weird team thing. So all these tall people or something. It's just so fucking weird. So then I go out of the bathroom and I feel like I've just left a whole nother world. And I go out in there and I go over to the, I go over to the counter. Because now I'm thinking, well, Jesus Christ, I've probably been in here 15 minutes or something. It's taken so long for all of this weird shit happening. So I go up to the counter and I say, I had an order for 2 cheeseburgers and a fish meal. So I want to make sure, you know, I pulled my car up and I want to make sure I get my stuff. And I don't know if my stuff's done. And so this was the weirdest thing I have ever, I was just so weirded out. The girl who was standing there at the counter was another robot person. Like, and she couldn't talk, you know, once I took her off script. You know, she can be like, your order is ready, your order. But once I confused her, she was just like, I don't know, maybe she didn't blink. So she kept doing that, and I was like, okay, who works over here? Because I'm at the counter with the 2 cash registers, and you have the window right here, and nobody's standing there. So I go, who works there? I was in the window, I ordered my food, and then I pulled up. I just want to make sure the next that my food doesn't go. I want to get my food. And she just keeps doing that. I work here. Okay. I was just like, okay, this is so fucking weird. What in the hell is wrong with this girl? And so I tell her, you know, again, and she's just completely, okay. Like, she just has no clue what the fuck I'm talking about. She's not asking questions. She's not trying to fill in the gaps. She's not trying to understand. She just is lost. Like, she has no clue what the fuck's happening. And so I go back out to my car, and I think for a second, you know, because I thought I was back in the fucking early 2000s, I guess, that they would bring my sack out. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you know, loud and clear, they're not going to bring that out here. You need to go back into the counter. Because she goes, okay, you can pick your stuff up at the counter. And, but she wasn't saying, like I was saying, I want to make sure I get my stuff. You can get it at the counter. I was like, okay, well, I've got my drive-through order. Is it ready? It's 2 cheeseburgers and a fish meal. And she's like, no, it's not ready. And I'm like, okay. So I go out there, you know, I'm sitting there for a second, and then I get that, like, no, she's not going to bring it out to you. Like, she don't even know what that was going on. Get your ass back in there. So I go back in there, and I'm standing there, and she goes over to the thing to get the food, and you can tell the fish meal because it's a flat sack. It's not the tall one. And so I knew, and then she had a little sack with her with the cheeseburgers. And I go, oh, is that mine? And she goes, no. And she goes walking over to the window and goes, here's your fish meal and your 2 cheeseburgers. I think they were saying, that's not ours. And I yell out, because I think she would have probably just thrown it out of me, or, you know, because I yell, that's mine. And she's like, oh, what? And then she turns and says, I thought you ordered a fish witch. It's like, chick, I've said 2 fucking cheeseburgers and a goddamn fish meal 3 times, 4 times. I didn't say that part. I just took the thing while she's sitting there trying to, I thought you said fish. Like, goddamn, this is weird shit. I just left that robot world, went over, got back in my car, and, you know, went and continued the same weird robot drive. And I'm seeing these people showing these videos of, like, one of them seems like it's like Congress or someplace. And then another one, I think both of them I think both of them are political ones where somebody's speaking and they keep showing these people who are like in the background standing and they don't blink or anything. They'll just stand there going, and I was like, oh my gosh, it is. It's like, what is going on? Like, where I hear people say, like, we've got robots around us. Like, I know we have clones. I know we have robots. I know we have these shapeshifters. Like, I know we have all these different things. And it is, oh my God, still stop. And like all of these, oh my God, she makes it so hard for me to think sometimes. All these things, and I swear to God, I think it's for that purpose sometimes. I think that there's something that gets her to harass me. Because there's like, it's things that I see that are so hard to explain, that make so much sense about all of these different things. Like, she just totally throws me. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like a pond, and then you throw a rock in it or something. It's like, oh my God, just take me totally off of my thinking. Totally out of my channel, totally off of my track, whatever it is. It's so irritating, especially when there's so much going in, and I'm seeing these things because there's like so many different ones. It's like, oh, I want to explain that, I want to explain that. And it is, I don't know, it's hard to, because this stuff is hard to explain. I'm just totally thrown. My mom's trying to come in, and she's up, so I should just go anyways and stop being rude. She'll probably take a nap, and I'll go, and I'll try and say some more, because I won't be able to, they won't download, so I won't be able to put it on today. I'll download it as soon as I get into town, and then, so probably when they get downloaded, they'll go in more together, because then I'll try and kind of pick up what I was talking about in a while, and I'll kind of, I don't know, kind of ask them to keep clarifying or making me be able to understand it more, because so many of the things, or give me the right words or something, but it is like it's the soul, the energy, the consciousness, it is like all these obstacles is this learning more of you. It's all learning about you, but I have so many things, because of things like with conversations with my mom, conversations with my daughter, all these things coming in, and these conversations that they have, that they're always showing me and telling me and explaining things to me and stuff. So there's a lot of different things, and I get distracted with whiny over here. He's got to have a drama every 2 seconds. And my mom's at the door. Yesterday when she went to the store, I'm so off on time again, and I can't even compute it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's happened to me before, so it's not freaking me out, because it happened after I got my brain injury in the beginning. But she went to the store, and so then I was outside doing stuff, then I was inside doing stuff. So it's like, man, it seems like a long ass time. So then I was like, started thinking, oh my God, she can't see, I mean, is this the drive that's gonna take her out? Like, fuck. And I'm sitting here in our house, I'm like, God damn, this is gonna be a lot of fucking work. Fuck, man. Oh, fuck. Who's gonna do all that? Oh, shit. And then I was like, oh, these fucking animals, what the fuck? What are we gonna do? So then when she got back, I said, I started worrying that you were gonna die. And she goes, well, I could rapture. So when I rapture, she's planning on the rapture. But to me, I kind of feel like it's the robot people that are going to be gone, not people who think. But anyways, so I told her when she got back, I was like, fuck, man, I was stressing out. I was like, well, I don't know what, she was laughing about it. was like, this is so overwhelming to think like, oh my God, if she died, what would I do with all, like, what, how would we do this? What would we do? And she's just cracking up about it. It's like, but I've seen a lot of this happening to people where it's very overwhelming when your parent leaves and you've got tons and tons of stuff, like it's a whole thing. And I was like, okay, they're not going to do that to me. That's not what's happening. That's not what they're going to do to me. But it did have the conversation with my mom. And she did think it was funny, but she was relieved that I said I would take a bunch of the dogs. I said I would take a bunch of the dogs, but like there's two, or there's a couple. I was like, I think they would go somewhere better than one that's super old, but the one that is this rescue from a hoarder house that had hundreds of them or whatever. It's taken years to even get near. I mean, my mom's only got to touch it a couple of times, and it barks and barks and barks and barks, scared of everything. So it's like those two probably, because they are very attached to each other. I was like, they should go somewhere else, but I'll take the other ones. But the cats, I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean, I don't know. You have friends set up for that? Like, what are we supposed to do if some, you know? And she said, one of her friends who's a rescue person, that she has all this money set aside to have all of her animals euthanized with her. And I was like, holy hell, that is no fucking way. You know how many fucking people there are out there who this shit happens? Everybody wants to step up. Everybody wants to rescue. Like, no way. There's no fucking way. You guys better not do that. Like, that's horrible. You put an ad out and you say, you know, that's fucked. And then, so when we were talking about that, and, you know, like, she agreed, like, that's horrible. And she didn't want to do that. Like, people want to follow their friends' wishes and shit. It's like, you don't commit murder for your friends' wishes. That's a fucking living soul. And animals are here to teach love. You know, whether people understand it and give the love back, that's something you get to face in your afterlife part, then your review. You get to go and see, like, oh my God, I had all this love sitting right there, and I would hit it and kick it and scream at it and all that. Like, you know, those animals are there to teach you. And yesterday I got a cool one too, because I was walking with Stella and I saw my shadow, and whatever I was wearing with the shadow, it gave me the idea of me and her walking as I got older, like when she was my horse. And I was walking her, I mean, I had her since I was little, apparently, because I was getting that vision all the time. But then yesterday I got the one where I was like, I had her for a long time. But I don't know, I mean, it could be any kind of village anywhere, like you relate to it, because like I'm in America, so I think, oh, it must have been when America was being settled. But it could have been fucking 5,000 years ago in Pakistan. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, everything is so different than what we think. So anyways, just keep that in mind. Your soul is here to experience all cultures, everything. It's not here to just be like one thing. And so anyways, when we concurred that letting the cats go free is the humane thing to do. Let them go out and experience freedom. Let them go out and be cats and live. And even when they go and escape, they usually, you know, cats don't, you have to contain them. They don't want to just be contained. And when you know, hoard them or love them and you hold on to them, then they are going against what they want to do naturally. So you gotta, you know. So anyways, that was our concurrence, that we will let them go free. And then I'll take those dogs and, you know, we'll figure out the other two or whatever. So anyways, I said, but please don't fucking be dying. And she's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not gonna die I think I'm gonna outlive all of you. But I think that's what our inner feeling is. The rapture is the words that they use to control and contain, because that's a really hard one to get over. Religion's a hard one for people to get over. Believe me, I'm experiencing it. So anyways, I will talk to you some later, and I will download this as soon as I can. So I'll talk to you in a bit. Bye.